Welcome to FOMO Consulting for your daily AMC stock analysis video on Friday, May 21st. Ladies and gentlemen, we are holding steady. We have hopefully found a new floor at 12. We are certainly looking bullish for next week. And as always, the apes are winning, the diamond hands are winning, and most importantly, the retail investor is winning. So if you find the video informative and entertaining, please like, share, comment, and certainly subscribe. It's a newer channel, and I would appreciate the support. Let's get into the video. So as always, thank you to everyone who has liked, shared, commented, and certainly subscribed. It's a newer channel. And again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. So let's start with a quote. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, and not the truth. By Marcus Aurelius, famous Roman emperor. There's a lot of opinions out there. There's a lot of social media platforms, but they're not all factual. Everything we see is a perspective. Everyone has a different viewpoint. Sometimes it's not the truth. Let's stay grounded in facts, stay grounded in data, and stay grounded in belief, and we'll be just fine. Let's look at the broader market. Overall, the three major indices were generally flat. The NASDAQ actually was down 64, nearly 65 points. Dow was up 1 point, S&P down slightly. So overall, traded flat, a lot of volatility. Certainly, crypto took a big hit, but overall, not a terrible day as things go and things have gone recently. So overall, pretty good. But certainly, AMC felt the effects of the broader market. So let's look at some of the key data here. AMC on the left is the most popular stock on Webull at 8.63%. No doubt it is getting the social media support and the public support right now, and that is a good thing for us. And as far as the volume of most active, AMC is in the top 10. So even on a lighter day, we can certainly find some respite in the fact that we are still very active and very prevalent on the market. So let's look at the crypto. Crypto, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to look at this and say, it was a bad day. So crypto is taking a beating over the last couple of days. A lot of speculation as to why, margin calls, this, that, and the other. I do believe this will recover sooner rather than later, but overall, pretty bad day for crypto yet again. So let's look at our baby AMC. So as you can see, AMC, we didn't have a terrible day. We were down 46 cents, 3.67%, closed at $12.08. Certainly not the way the pre-market looked like we were going to go, but I'll show you the data as to why I believe all this occurred. But overall, you can see we followed the broader market. Started high, had a little pump in the morning, kind of trickled down, and then had a kind of a deeper sell-off midday, recovered a bit, and then had a sell-off towards the latter end. It is amazing how AMC does follow the broader market in general. So I believe when the market gets in a more bullish stance, we'll certainly feel the effects of that as well. So this was within the last 2 minutes of the trading day on the level 2 on Webull. You can certainly see our opponent was not going to let this rise. It was from the minute the bell rang at 9:30 all day long. They had a goal. It was to keep it down, not let it run. And if they could get it below 12, they could. But we showed a lot of strength, I believe, and we're set up very nicely going into next week. So when in doubt, right? So this is the hourly chart going back into early March. So you can clearly see where we've had our highs and lows, but overall we're still very much on an uptrend. And you can certainly see where the yellow arrows are. We've had a huge pump in volume. We were certainly poised for a correction. The RSI was completely overbought. But now, over the last couple of days, we are in oversold, and now we know why, because of Wanda, and we'll get into that shortly. So this is a comparison left. This was mid-March when we ran up to 1487. we had a little peak, had a fall off, and then yet another peak, and then we fell off again, obviously with the heavy shorting we were taking at that time. We're kind of hopefully in that range again, but if you look where we are today, we are in the 12s. Just 2 weeks ago or so at earnings, we were at $8.93. So we've come a very long way. We did need to correct. I know there is disappointment, but this is part of the stock market. We did have the peak. We are now correcting back to the moving average, but I believe next week will be very bullish. So again, when in doubt, right? So we are clearly on an uptrend. We are clearly showing a lot of strength. The RSI, again, we broke into overbought earlier this week or late last week. We needed to cool off, but we're still on the bullish side of it. Secondly, there was an article that came out late today. It was kind of a recycling of an article from last week about is AMC stock buy? And their perception is yes. They do note from their technical analysis that AMC has created a boxy cup-like base over the past 8 weeks on the weekly chart, as illustrated on the right side of the screen. You can clearly see where it has created a kind of a cup and handle formation. So this week, and maybe even next, being a little red, correcting to create the handle so we can have a breakout is certainly in play. So again, interesting article, check it out. So what I want to show you now is a few stock charts, blue chip type stocks. I do believe not only is AMC a certain squeeze play, but it is also a fantastic investment play right now. And I'll show you versus some of the blue chip stocks how AMC is performing. So this is Tesla, obviously tech sector. We get kind of tied in, certainly heavily shorted, long history of that. But since January 1st of 2021, you can clearly see Tesla has been on somewhat of a downtrend. So let's move forward. So this is Apple. Apple has been on a very slight but noticeable downtrend since January 1st. Again, not a very bullish stock. Again, tech sector, right? So let's look at Bitcoin. So clearly on an uptrend, ran up amazingly, but it has been correcting. No different than we have been doing this week. So let's look at SPY, tied in with basically the movement of the S&P. Overall, very bullish uptrend since January 1st. This is basically the NASDAQ. So again, bullish uptrend, very volatile, as you can see, tied into a lot of the tech and growth, and what AMC is most associated with. So again, bullish uptrend, right? Google, very bullish. Google's had a great year, as you can see, since January 1st. GME, the big brother, clearly on an uptrend, no doubt. Forget about the whole, squeeze effect. It's just in general a good recovery play investment, in my opinion, not financial advice by any stretch. So let's look at AMC. Beautiful uptrend since January 1st, regardless of the squeeze or not. It is making money. It is a grind. It is finding its footing and recovering. So let's look again at the bigger picture. So daily chart moving uphill. All the indicators are clearly in a bullish direction. MACD on the daily is certainly in bullish territory. We needed to cool off just a bit. You can see where our RSI, bottom right, broke through overbought, needed to come down, self-correct, chill out a little bit, and our favorite indicator now, the alligator, has his mouth wide open on the larger picture, in the larger frame. Keep in mind one thing, we are not day trading this stock. So the bigger picture, the longer time frames is what I use to judge the movement and the overall behavior of AMC. Again, it is a longer term play as a hold, because obviously we're playing it for the squeeze, but looking at the longer term indicators is certainly the way I find some solace in the fact that even on a red day. So again, bullish uptrend. You can clearly see moving average in bullish direction. Alligator's mouth is wide open, right? So what I want to show you is on the left, orange bars. That is when we were in the $2 to $4 range. We spent this much time trending in the $5 to $7 range. Look how long we toiled in basically the $9 to $11 channel. We have spent a ton of time, essentially since early February all the way until really late April, early May. We have now broken out of that channel, as you can see by the green channel bars. Our job is to stay in that channel. You can see where we could not hold it in mid-March and fell back into the yellow channel. We need to stay in the green channel, and that is our job by buying and holding. So again, bigger picture, you can see where we've now attacked that $14 level several times. We need to break it, but the overall trend is upwards. So we're clearly moving into that little pennant formation. I'll leave the technical analysis to others, but I just wanted to show you this as a illustration. So some great news today came out on AMC. Breaking news, right? United Maritime Capital LLC buys ProShares Trust, which includes AMC. And as you can see by the yellow arrow, they added positions and they added AMC, which is great because if you look, Netflix is in there. You got a lot of FOMO, a lot of great plays mixed into that. ProShares Trust, as you can see, also the newer purchases of Riot, Walmart, different Nokia. Great ETF to be involved with. So again, very bullish, I believe. So to get a little chuckle, put a smile on your face, Goldman's group of hedge fund VIP stocks matches worst drop ever. Facebook now tops list. But the group also matched their biggest 3-month fall on record, Zero Hedge reports. Check out the article. Maybe it'll make you smile. So I think this is fantastic news. National Cinemedia Inc. to participate in JP Morgan 49th Annual Global Technology Media and Communications Conference. So if you look at the ticker symbol NCMI, this is the company that basically runs all those wonderful ads as you walk into an AMC movie theater that entertain you before the previews start. Again, they do all theater chains, and they also do some of the streaming services. So let's see what's up with this company. This is since basically January. You look at the growth, look at how it mirrors AMC. It even had a bit of a little baby squeeze exactly on the same day, on the 27th of January, but it ran up mid-March and is continuing its upward trend. This reminds me very much of people that are buying EV stocks and then, invest in charging stations and all the bolt-on products that come along with a major stock play. Again, it's worth a look, but this is certainly trending with the rest of the industry, and no doubt it is recovering. So, talk of the town is Wanda selling. We don't know what we don't know, right? And now we know. Wanda sold off basically all of their shares except for 10,000 shares over the last week or so. That was a huge, somewhat of a surprise, but just on May 17th, they sold over 9 million shares at a price of $14. No wonder we've had such selling pressure this week. So over the last several days, actually. So this also explains why some of these shares on loan have been able to kind of disappear. No doubt, some of the large block trades have been bought up by our opponent. It does not change this scenario, but it is an interesting dynamic. And again, this was filed today. Feel free to check it out. It is a 13D filing. It is on the AMC Investor Relations website. So just another reminder here about the increase in shares outstanding over time with AMC. This is not updated with the 43 million at the market equity offering that recently occurred. I think the Wanda thing personally is a fantastic piece of news. That is one less storm cloud, one less dark cloud hanging over this scenario. We got rid of the 43 million share issue. Now we've got rid of Wanda. Wanda selling is no surprise. They basically are only investing in Chinese-based companies now, and they want it out of AMC for quite some time. So no surprise here, really no news. But it certainly affected, I believe, selling pressure on the stock over the last week or so. So next weekend is a holiday weekend for many, Memorial Weekend in the United States. Why not spend a couple hours in an AMC theater watching some of the brand new blockbuster movies coming out? A Quiet Place 2, Cruella, among others. Fantastic way to spend just a couple hours and supporting your company, enjoying time with your friends and family. So knock yourself out. So let's look at the short data for today. Estimated short interest percent of free float was down just a hair, about flat. Percent of free float on loan went down just a little bit, not 24.71. Shares on loan went down by about 1 million to 124. Again, that number has trended down, and again, Wanda selling has no doubt affected that number, but keep in mind we are still 2.5 times higher than we were before the baby squeeze, even at that number. Days cover 1.28, about flat. Cost to borrow 10.75. No doubt that is them recycling their positions and able to clear out some of these borrowed shares has reduced the cost to borrow, and utilization is at 96.68. It is about flat to yesterday. Again, institutional ownership is at 415. Retail owns 64%. That dynamic has only changed because of the large institutional investment. Total volume today was 53 million at the time of this recording. Short shares available according to Fintel, 3.2 million. And the short borrow fee, it's at 7.10. Take that with a big grain of salt. So I've shown this several days in a row. This is today's chart, actually through yesterday. It's a little bit behind. This is over a 6-month look. You can clearly see that short data trend lines are falling down. There's a bit of a flattening, it looks like, trying to occur. Again, they have found some shares, no doubt because of the Wanda sell that we did not know about. But clearly, anytime there is a fall off in those trend lines, the price runs up, which is why I'm still very bullish for next week. So let's take a closer look at the 3-month time period. You can clearly see in the mid-March time period, they exited their positions as the price ran up, borrowed shares. As you can see by the volume bars, shorted it right back down. We spent a month, if not more, in that $9 to $10 channel, and our prices ran up again. They have exited their positions or are trying to. Next week, I think, is absolutely essential. If we can continue buying pressure and we continue with an upward price channel, I believe they will have no choice but to cover. So let's look at what they were up to with borrowed shares today. So they started the morning at a market open. They returned 193,000 shares. No big deal, but they borrowed 4.65 million at market open. No wonder why the price got slammed at the open, and they trickled it down all day long. And this is how we closed. They returned $3.64 million, but they borrowed $6.96 million by the end of the day. So basically, they're holding 3.3 million shares they did not return. Again, you clearly saw why towards the second half of the trading day, they were not going to allow those options at $13 to expire in the money. So let's look at the option sentiment today. A lot of big trades, $12 strikes expiring today. Quick money around the $12 strike, closing at 12.08. Certainly put a lot of those in the money. The options sentiment, call to put ratio, certainly very bullish, but more realistic at 2.2 to 1. We've been as much as 4 to 1, 5 to 1 recently. I certainly believe this is more realistic, but again, we're still in very bullish sentiment territory without a doubt. So I've shown this over several days. I believed without a doubt that we were going to close between 13 and 14 based on the open interest, especially on the call side. There was a ton of contracts scheduled to be in the money if we could have stayed above 13. We did not. They clearly had an agenda today to short this as heavily as they possibly could, as I just showed you with the amount of borrowed shares they had at open, and they certainly did so. But holding above 12 puts about 83,000 contracts in the money on the call side, and I still think that is very good, and it usually sets us up for very green Mondays to have that sort of volume, that sort of open interest expire in the money. So I'm looking very forward to Monday to having a green day. So as always, I have skin in the game. Bleed together, win together, lose together, whatever. I'm in this to the bitter end with you, diamond hands all the way. Let's close with a quote. Today I will do what others won't, so tomorrow I can do what others can't. I believe by investing in AMC, investing in the company, believing in the company, believing in what we are doing, today we are putting in the work, so tomorrow we can do what others will not be able to, right? We can have a different life. We can have a different scenario that surrounds us. We can have a different financial freedom that we all certainly need, want, and feel we deserve. So certainly I believe this is relevant. So as always, I want to thank you for watching the video. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. And if you did, please like, share, comment, and certainly subscribe. Again, it's a newer channel, and I would appreciate your support. I hope you have a great day, a great weekend. I'll be in touch soon, and as always, I hope your life is full of green candles. Take care. Bye-bye.